Lovely Princess and the Frog Dilemma. Once upon a time, in a land filled with candy clouds and chocolate rivers, there lived a very spoiled princess named Poppy. Poppy had everything a girl could dream of: a unicorn with neon hair, a bicycle made of gummy bears, and a dress that sparkled like a disco ball, which she never wore because it was so last Tuesday. One sunny morning, Poppy woke up with a greedy grin. "I want a golden ball, Daddy," she declared. "Anything for you, my little licorice swirl," replied the king, shaking his head in amusement. The king summoned his head goldsman, a very serious-looking fellow with a mustache that looked like a caterpillar. "Make this princess a golden ball and hurry," commanded the king. "Yes, your majesty," replied the goldsman, who rushed off to melt down a statue of a rather grumpy-looking dragon. Before long, he returned with a shiny golden ball that sparkled like a million fireflies. Poppy snatched it and dashed out to the garden, only to trip over her own shoelaces. The ball soared into the air and plopped into the garden pond with a splash that sounded like a cannonball. "Oh, crumpets!" Poppy exclaimed, pouting. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the pond. "Knee-deep, I can help." Poppy looked around, puzzled. "Who said that?" "Down here," croaked a little green frog, waving his tiny arms. "There's no such thing as a talking frog," Poppy scoffed. "Knee-deep, I can talk, and I can also get your ball back," said the frog, puffing up his chest. "Oh, really? And what's the catch?" asked Poppy, raising an eyebrow. "You must give me a kiss in return," said the frog, winking. "Ew, a kiss? You're all slimy and green. No way," she retorted, making a face like she'd just bitten into a sour lemon. "Suit yourself," said the frog, hopping back to his lily pad with a smirk. After splashing around madly for half an hour, Poppy finally huffed, "Fine, I'll trade my golden ball for a yucky kiss." "Knee-deep," cheered the frog, diving into the water and resurfacing with the ball. She grabbed it quickly. "Bye, Froggy," and off she went, sprinting back to the castle. But the king had been watching the whole fiasco from behind a bush, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Where do you think you're going, young lady?" he boomed. Daddy," Poppy stammered. "You promised that frog a kiss, and we must keep our promises," said the king, crossing his arms. "Do I have to?" whined Poppy, cringing at the thought. "Yes," the king insisted with a playful grin. Reluctantly, Poppy marched back to the pond. The frog was grinning from ear to ear. "Ready for my kiss?" he asked, bouncing in excitement. Poppy took a deep breath, held her nose, and leaned down. "You," she squeaked as she planted a quick, squelchy peck on the frog's lips. Suddenly, there was a loud pop and a puff of glittery smoke. When the smoke cleared, Poppy blinked in surprise. Standing before her was a handsome prince, wearing a crown that looked suspiciously like a pizza slice. "Golly gumdrops," gasped Poppy. "You were a prince all along." "Yep, a wicked witch turned me into a frog, and only a kiss from a true princess could break the spell," the prince explained, chuckling. "Oh, I'm so sorry for being mean to you. I didn't know," Poppy said sheepishly. The king chimed in. "It doesn't matter if he's a prince or a frog, Poppy. Treat everyone with kindness." From that day on, Poppy became the nicest princess in the land. She and the prince became the best of friends. They often walked by the pond, and Poppy would laugh every time the prince croaked, "Knee-deep, knee-deep." And as for the frog, he became the royal jester, telling jokes that made everyone giggle until their bellies ached. The end.